We are finally going on vacation! My husband and I have literally not left the house in like, what, 2 years now, right? As with most of the country. So we are so excited to finally be leaving. We are going to Hawaii for a week. Just a little trip. We didn't want it to be too crazy because of the pandemic still going on, of course, but we felt like this was a safe place to go. And as I was doing my sort of preliminary packing, I thought to myself, man, I could really use a dress for this trip, and why did I not think to make one earlier? So basically, we're gonna try to make a dress really quick. I have about a day to do it. Might as well, right? Throw in an extra project right before we go on a big trip. So because I only have about a day to do this, I'm using a pattern that I've done 1,000 times before. I've done it on my channel here before. You guys know it. Everybody loves it. The McCall's 7969. I can whip this up super easily, and I found some fabric that I really love. It's got these little geckos, lizards on it, right? It's kind of cute. One of the main reasons we picked Hawaii to go to is because my husband is a crazy Jurassic Park fanatic. So we are going, like, honestly specifically just to go to Jurassic Valley and see where they filmed it, so cannot wait. I also wanted to show you guys a little bit from our trip. I am going to film the reveal of this dress at Jurassic Valley. That's the plan anyway, so stick around for that. Now, for this dress, since it's such a classic, easy pattern, I'm not going to go through all of the instructions that are already in the pattern, but I will kind of show you what I did to alter the pattern that already exists. So the bodice is exactly the same as in the instructions. The skirt, however, I'm adding some tiers and I'm putting pockets into it. So I'll show you what I do for that. Other than that, though, everything else is straight down the line through the instructions. So if you have this pattern or you're thinking about making a nice, easy dress and you want to use this pattern, that's what I'm doing. Just following the directions plus a couple of additional little things. So follow along. Let's see if we can get this done in time. Fingers crossed.
The first step, of course, is to cut the pattern pieces out. Now, I cut the bodice pieces out according to the pattern, but you can see that for the skirt, I cut 3 tiers that ascend in width and length towards the bottom. The top tier is the same width as the pattern piece, and the length of all 3 matches the length of the pattern. These pockets are not included in the pattern, but I decided to add them anyway because duh, pockets. I'm adding them on to the top tier of my skirt by first sewing each pocket piece right sides together to the tier at the side seams. Then I'll sew the front panel to the back panel with wrong sides together at first, then right sides together to create a French seam. Notice that I used a zigzag stitch because my fabric is a little bit stretchy. Here's what the top tier looks like once the pockets are sewn on. Before I start sewing the tiers of my skirt together, I have to gather the top edge of each one. I do this by sewing 2 straight lines all around the top of each skirt tier with the stitch length at its highest setting. Then I hold the top 2 threads and pull the fabric along the stitching to create this gathered effect. Here you can see my 3 tiers ready to get sewn together, which is my last step. This last step does take a little bit of time, but I think that tiered effect is totally worth it. Stay tuned for highlights from our trip and to see how the dress turned out.
Good morning! We made it to Hawaii and we are sitting on the balcony. It's like 6 a.m. right now and it's technically like 9 a.m. back home, so of course we just naturally woke up really early. So we just thought we'd sit out here and watch the sunrise. last few hours in Hawaii. Yeah.
Like 10 minutes.
Then we're gonna head to the airport. So we're just sitting here with some tea on the beach, just looking at the ocean and talking about what a great trip it's been. Okay, let me show you our view. Coming on this little trip with us. I am so happy we made some memories here. I think we'll come back someday, don't you think?